Preview.
Season. So then we come into our spring seasons, and the winning just kept on happening.
You know, winning is contagious, or success breeds success. And yes, you have some good athletes around. And here you have baseball, softball, track. Now you're splitting the athletes up into certain sports. And all of them really did a nice job. Baseball, not as successful as track and softball, but when's the last time that softball has had a successful season? It's been a few years, right?
The McGillis years.
Okay.
But let's go back to baseball. Let's kind of start from scratch and is working on building a program right now. David Coors was the new JV coach. So we had some new faces in place there and trying to change the culture of the team.
And really, that's the one school or the one sport. I guess we have two sports that there's a co-op, but we actually host this co-op. Skiing would be another co-op sport, right?
Yes.
With like Onekama, I think, is the host school.
Yes, but there's 6 schools that go there.
Yeah. So some NMC kids come over because they don't play soccer or track, and they really love baseball, but they don't have enough to field the baseball teams. And I think there's still the conference rule, isn't there, where they can't play conference games or something?
Yes. There was only 2 kids from NMC that played on the McBain team last year, Kendrick Smulligan and Carter Quist.
Okay.
I believe there was 2 that played softball.
Oh, yes.
That also played because there was
Platts, Brianna Platts came over.
And Emerson Tossi.
Yep. And that brought Danae Tossi over, too, the Cornerstone Coffee owner. So she helped with coaching, I think, JVs on that. And then some of the kids were able to play up on the varsity games also.
So let's talk softball real quick because, they came into the season without a coach as the coach resigned halfway through the winter. And then it comes up to Chantel Zeiderveen.
Yeah.
First experience as a head coach. No pressure. You're just going to take over the softball program, and what are you going to do with them?
We did hire a girl from NMC, but Cornerstone ended up hiring her.
That's right.
And what are you going to do? Stick to a high school softball, or are you going to go to where you can make some money on it?
Yeah.
So congratulations to her. But, yeah, Chantel played college softball, and here she steps in. And she has a pretty good veteran group of softball players. I think of McKenna Gildy, who's been doing some travel league stuff, Caitlin Butzine, travel league, and a host of others that have just been playing summer softball.
Yeah, Maya Isaacson was on that team. It was loaded with Alyssa Bode. Emma Boonstra was out there also.
Doing some AAU stuff, yes.
McKenna's younger sister.
Brecken was brought up as a freshman.
Kata Cotter played quite a bit of softball.
Morgan
Isiga, Tana Van Polen were out there.
So pretty solid. If I think of like some,
I don't know if I would go there.
Solid muscle girls. I mean, I feel like I was watching some highlights where some girls were dingers, some home runs.
There was a game where they hit 4 home runs from 4 different players in the same game. No, they hit 6 home runs from 4 different players, and they all held up the softballs that they hit out of the park.
So that's when you have some run support, some batting support, and your pitching is really solid, that can do some things. And in softball, there's no pitching limitations, right?
No, because it's underhand and it doesn't put the stress on the shoulder. So the softball team ended up taking the conference and sharing it with Everett.
So Everett's had a solid program, too. They got these young athletes coming up. So the McBain-Everett rivalry is really, really growing, especially with this senior class this year. They've had some, basketball, almost fisticuffs, if you will. Some elbows thrown, stuff like that. So there's the rivalry there. They end up sharing the conference. And now, the rubber match is going to be in the districts.
Yeah, this is going to actually become a theme this year where McBain beats Everett in the regular season, and then the postseason, Everett comes out and knocks off McBain.
Downs.
So, anyways, enough about football. Let's get to spring. So, our track team. How's our track team do this year?
Again, solid group of runners for both boys and girls. Our distances are strong with the O'Malleys. Keegan and Claudia graduated, and now Maggie is at the helm, and a nice group of young supporting people around her. Susan Maloney has won the conference 5 years in a row.
5? 5 years. That's coaching there.
Well, and it is putting kids in the right spot, trying to get as many points for your team, putting kids where they're going to be successful. And I think Pat Maloney is 1 year behind. The boys have won the conference 4 years in a row.
So at the dinner table, Susan says, honey, you get the dishes. I got 5. You only got 4.
So anyway, it was just an exciting year. And sometimes, you know, you go to a track meet, they can be long. But everyone had a McBain athlete, you know, vying for the lead or second, third place. And it was a fun season. And after 2020, just happy to get the stuff in because that whole track season, softball season, baseball, it didn't exist.
Yeah, it's 2 years since these spring sports even got to touch the field.
Yes. I think of my daughter. She had knee surgery her 8th grade track season, and then her freshman track season got canceled. So it's like, whoa, there's 2 years of missed opportunity. And so here she is as a sophomore last year, kind of competing like an 8th grader, you know. So it was a fun season. A lot of athletes went to the state track meet. Regional, we were well represented. We didn't come in the top 3, but I think we maybe 4th or 5th place in the region for girls. So, you know, and then a lot of the girls going on to the state meet and representing down there too. So, yeah, it was a good track season.
And now let's go on to a special moment as history is made again. Pat Martini took over the golf program, and he starts with a kind of a talented group there. It was led by Tucker Vandervelde, Bryce Roller, Matt Utek, Christian Mitchell. You had Elena Kitson in there, as well as it was Kyle Culp. Also played for the team, and they did something that's never happened before. This is the very first time in McBain history that Pat Martini took the team and led them to the states. They took second in the regional and were able to qualify for the states and be in the states. What a fantastic honor for them. Like, we got T-shirts, their names are on the back of it. It was a great time. Congratulations to the golf team for being the very first team to ever take states. They are now also the 3-year champion, the Misaki Cup. The Misaki Cup is a tournament between all the teams in Misaki County. That's NMC, Lake City, and McBain. And so there are 3-peat champions right there. Trying to help her own cause with the stick. She gets a hold of that one. Then another dinger. She goes yard. 2 home runs in the inning. And touches home plate. She decides she's not going to depend on anybody else to push her around. She's an independent woman. If I want to score a run, I'll do it all by myself.